Slim Jim over here. Meal plan. If it's not for you, why are you watching this video? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. This video is long overdue. I'm gonna be taking you through like my full calorie process and figuring out my meals, how I determine my calories, how I determine my food for the week, and how I measure out my food. Your girl is officially down almost 40 pounds, like 39 pounds, which is crazy. I started off in the high 190s and this was in January of 2024. Within the first like 7-8 months, I would say I lost a bulk of the weight. Now the rest of it, I just kind of took my time losing it. I am in the 150s, which is absolutely insane. I haven't been in the 150s in a long time, okay? Slim Jim over here. Let's get started. So the first part of this video, we're gonna just be going through the calories and then me planning out my meals and stuff. And then I'm gonna jump right into a full day of eating, which I've already filmed. Let me put up a screen record. So the first thing I do is go to the TDE calculator, and you'll see is tdecalculator.net. I'll link it all down below. Female, I am 33 years old. I weigh 158 pounds. I am 5'6", and my activity level, I put moderate. Exercise 3 to 5 days a week, because that's where I'm at. I usually lift about 3 days, but I'm walking 5 to 6 days. Heavy training days are long gone. So this puts my current maintenance at 2,230 calories. That's what I would need to eat to maintain the size that I'm at. Anything below 2230 is a cut. You're in a deficit. Anything above that number, I'm in a surplus. If you want to be like in a good deficit, you want to drop it by 500 calories. That's for most people. Now, you do not always have to drop it that low, especially if you're short. If you're on the short side and your calories are already pretty low, dropping your calories isn't the only way to be in a deficit. You can also move your body more. I obviously logged in that I'm exercising 3 to 5 days a week. If I wanted it to be in a bigger deficit, I can just add more cardio. So for me, I never go below a certain amount of calories. I've done some extreme cuts in the past, like some very, very short extreme cuts, but for the most part, I will never go below like 1,700 calories. I'd rather move my body more than eat less. For my short girls, keep that in mind. You don't have to be eating 1,200 calories, 1,300 calories. You can just walk more or move more. Scroll down, you see maintenance, cutting, bulking. I'm gonna go into cutting. At a 500 deficit, it puts me at 1,730 calories. I didn't want to drop to 1,730. I put my calories on the day at 1,800. And the thing is mine is not like strict, so I'm eating anywhere from 1,800 to 1,900 calories at the moment. So once I figured out that number, I use myfitnesspal. I've been using myfitnesspal for years, but any type of food tracking, food logging app is perfectly fine. Go to more in the bottom corner, then I go to goals. At the bottom where it says nutrition goals, calorie, carbs, proteins, and fats. Click on that. Then up here, I'm gonna change it to 1,800 calories. And then when it comes to the carbs, protein, and fats, you can play around with that. I would love to get 158 grams of protein in there. That's most likely not gonna happen. But if I can get 120 plus, I'm happy with that. So I'm just gonna set it at 135. I'm gonna bring my carbs down, and then I'm gonna bring my fats up. I majority of the time eat higher fats than I do carbs, and then you just save it. The carbs and fats you can really play around with. Diary is all set. So now you know your calories. The next step is determining what you're gonna eat. Listen, for me, I pretty much keep the same meals and I kind of rotate through them. I have like 3 or 4 different breakfast items that I like. I have a few lunch options, a few dinner options, and then I just kind of cycle through them. Every once in a while, I will go on like TikTok to find recipes, and then I'll work that into my routine. But I find the easiest with like staying on track and staying consistent with my calories is sticking kind of to the same foods, because you know how much is in it. If you're someone who needs a new meal every single day, you need to switch it up every single day, this process is going to be more challenging. But here we got meal plan. I got my grocery list over here, pre-workout, post-workout, lunch, and then dinner. I'm already looking like on TikTok and going through my like list of foods to see what it is that I want to have. All right, my pen ain't working, so I'm gonna have to use my finger. So pre-workout, I know I'm gonna have my protein coffee. What is new? I'm gonna have some oats. Ooh, why did it do that? Post-workout, some eggs, some sausage. I'm gonna have fruit, and then like maybe a little salad or something. Okay, so for lunch, I'm going to have lettuce wrapped sandwich, chips on the side. And then dinner, I found a recipe on TikTok, which is like a soy glazed chicken, cucumber, carrot salad. And then the last thing, I don't know if I'm gonna have it. It depends on if it fits in my calories or not, but it'll be jasmine rice. So this is not a guarantee. So this is what I've listed out, and this is what I know I want to have. The grocery list, y'all don't need to see me make that. Okay, so now that I have my meals pretty much figured out, like I know what I want to eat, I have to start playing around with the serving size of everything. And so this when things get a little bit more challenging, what I recommend is you go into myfitnesspal. I know that I need 1,800 calories. So I'm gonna put in the scoop of protein powder, and then I always have Chobani creamer with it. I'm not being like super precise with everything. I'm just kind of putting it in there, and then I'm gonna go and move things around. I have my oats. I always do the better oats. Now I'm gonna go up to breakfast. I know I'm gonna have eggs. And then the sausage I get is the Amy Lou maple sausage. I've been on like a kiwi kick, so I'm gonna add a kiwi. I'm gonna have strawberries. Arugula, I'm not gonna measure out arugula, but I do always have truffle oil with my arugula. So I'm gonna do the black truffle oil, and then I'm gonna add in some Parmesan. Now for lunch, I am gonna have like these deli meats that I get from HEB. So there's turkey, ham, and then there's salami. I bought some chips. And then dinner, I explain it later on in the video, but I create a recipe in myfitnesspal and I put everything in there. So I've already done that. So I have the soy glazed chicken. I'm gonna add a serving size of that. I have like carrots and then cucumber. So right now you see my calories are around 1386. This is just a rough estimate of what everything is. I hope this makes sense. Like it's harder to figure it out as you go. It's better to have it listed out in front of you, and then you can always go in and kind of play around with the numbers, make changes. If you have more room, you can add more food, or you have to take away some things. But that's pretty much how I do this. And again, I only do this once a week. This is not a daily thing. Once you see it already listed out, you're ready to go. So then you already know your serving size. So then the next day, you know exactly how much to weigh out. This is too much for you and you don't feel like doing all of this, either hire a trainer to create a meal plan for you, or there's so many creators on here who will post full day of eating 1,700 calories, full day of eating 1,500 calories. You can find all of that, and then you can just follow what they ate for the day. Especially once you know your calories and you know how much you're supposed to intake, you can go and find that. Or you can easily look up dinner, a 400 calorie dinner recipe, or a 300 calorie snack. But yeah, that's how I figured that out, and that's how I plan it. And now we jump right into the full day of eating. Dressed, ready for the gym. I'm wearing Honor Active, of course. This full outfit is in stock, all right? The whole outfit is in stock, I checked. The Soft Motions bra in white, and I'm wearing the True Blue Effortless leggings. You'll see the fit in a second. First, I'm going to make my protein coffee, and then I'm gonna have some oats. Now for coffee, I just do it for the taste, not for the caffeine. So I always just get decaf coffee pods. It don't really matter the brand to me. I don't really care. I just grab one. So just gonna pop one of these in. And then for my oats, I eat the Better Oats. And this one is the apple and cinnamon. Now when it comes to this protein coffee, I've made it a billion times, but I'm gonna make it again just in case anybody is new here. I am using my man's protein powder because he gets it for free. This has actually been one of the few proteins that don't hurt my stomach. It's all natural, right? It's like a really clean protein. Yeah, like really clean. It tastes like protein. So you'd be like, does it taste good? It tastes like protein to me. But this is Birdman Vanilla. You got a link? No. You can find it on Amazon. It's from Mexico, right?
No, let's save animals.
You said they save animals? Some of the funds go to saving animals. So clean protein and a good cause, you know? Gotta use some unsweetened almond milk. And then this is not vegan, but I'm gonna use a little bit of it. It's the Chobani creamers. This is the caramel macchiato one. MyFitnessPal. Got the handy scale here. Scan it. Almond milk is not something I'm like pressed over because there's like no calories in this. This, the creamer, you will scan. This is not something you eyeball. Oh, I put too much milk. I usually add the coffee first because when I go and add ice, the ice melts it and just adds more liquid to it. And then I'm also gonna scan my oats. And 1 pouch. This is my pre-gym meal. I'm not gonna put anything on here because I'm not trying to get too full. When we look at it, this is 326 calories, 28 protein, 36 carb, 4 fiber, fiber is important, and then 9 fat. And for this leggings, True Blue, soft motion bra. We got the, wait, where is that? We got the socks from the Danielle collection, and then I'm wearing the New Balance 740s. Going to the gym. I'm probably not gonna record this, so I will just see y'all afterward for breakfast or meal number 2. All right, back from the gym, showered, clean. Not that hungry, but you know, it's fine. I have this like little boiled egg thing because me and boiled eggs on the stove just do not go. They do not go. So I already boiled up some eggs while I was in the shower. Now I'm going to warm up these maple chicken patties. I get these at Costco and it's the brand Amy Lou. I'm sure you can find it anywhere else. I've been like into kiwis lately, like love some kiwis. Strawberries, my fruit of choice. And then I'm gonna make a little arugula salad. Arugula, I put some lemon and lime, salt and pepper. And then I have this black truffle extra virgin olive oil. This brand is California Olive Ranch. And then I put some shaved Parmesan. 10-minute prep time in total, super quick. The quicker the meals are, the better for me. Bringing up MyFitnessPal. I'm gonna add the eggs. I'm gonna scan barcode, the Amy Lou sausage, the kiwi, put in the strawberries, but I'm gonna weigh those out. 88 grams. And my egg, I top with Lowry seasoning salt and pepper. I'm not measuring this out. There's just certain things that I don't measure, and veggies are pretty much one of them. Just got a little handful, pepper, some sea salt. I'm out of lemon juice, so I'm just gonna use just a lime. The oils, I am gonna measure. Always measure your oils. I'm gonna scan barcode, then I'm just gonna drizzle a little on there. And then I'm just gonna take chunks out of my Parmesan. Now I'm also gonna have an electrolyte. I've been drinking the Ultima. I just found it at H-E-B, and there's no calories in this. All right, and that's that. Here we have our next meal of the day. Now we're gonna look at MyFitnessPal. This is 415 calories. So that brings us to 740 calories, 57 protein, 61 carb, 6 fiber, and 31 fat. I really need to pick it up on the protein for lunch and dinner. I will be back when it's time to eat again. I am back and a significant amount of time has passed. I worked and I went on a walk to get my 10K steps in, so that's done. I showered and then I passed out on the couch. I was not trying to take a nap, but I did. So here we are. I got these Miss Vicky's little chips. I also picked up some more groceries. Like I stopped at Costco and just grabbed a few things. So that was what else I was doing. Lettuce, turkey, ham, and then I got some salami. I have avocado, bread and butter pickles, mustard, mayo. Oh, my cheese. Just took me 10 minutes to find my smoked Gouda because Teron dropped it behind the condiments instead of putting it in the cheese drawer. Mayo, mustard, not measuring that. oven roasted turkey breast, HEB these are the bread and butter pickles, so there is like, I think, sugar or something in them, but if you just do regular pickles, pickles have like no calories in them. So if I was using regular pickles, I would not be scanning this. Then lastly, we're gonna add some avocado. I'm gonna scan my chips. Oops. There she is. It's gonna come out to a total of 483 calories for this lunch, which puts me at 1224 on the day, 82 protein, 89 carb, 60 fat, and 8 fiber. So I really gotta pick it up towards the end. My fiber is not high enough. I don't really care that much about my carbs and my fats. I do with PCOS, I prefer to have a little bit higher fat and like moderate carbs. So I do keep my carbs around like 150. Protein, if I can hit 120 on a day, I am happy with that. I still have 600 calories to work with, which will go to my dinner. I'm tired, y'all, sleepy. But it's time to eat, and I have to eat because I gotta hit my calories. I'm already in a deficit. I'm not trying to undereat, and I'm only at 1200 for the day, 1224. That is not enough food. It's not enough food. So I am going to make this chicken recipe that I found on TikTok. Now, when it comes to recipes, there's a section in myfitnesspal where you can go and create a recipe, and then I add in some of the ingredients. I don't add in everything because there's like salt and pepper and garlic. I'm not putting that in there. So I only put in the items that really have calories in it. So I'm gonna be using a pound of chicken thighs. I added the chicken thighs. This recipe has oyster sauce, which has like sugar, carbs in it, and it does also has honey in it. So I made sure to put those two ingredients in there. I'm not adding soy sauce. Just, you know, the 0 calorie things, I'm not gonna put it in the recipe because it's waste of time. Then I put the serving size. I am gonna cook a pound of chicken, so I'm gonna split it up into 4 servings. I might possibly eat more, but for now, I'm just gonna put them in 4 individual containers, and then I can split it up from there. And then this is the last meal of the day, so this is when I really have to kind of like maneuver and play around with things and try to get everything to fit my calories and like my protein goals. I got my chicken thighs here. I got the big pack from Costco, so I'm just gonna measure out a pound. That way it fits the recipe. And then on the side, I'm going to make this little carrot salad, which I also found on TikTok. Let's do this so I can eat and chill and then get ready for bed. Dinner is done. I got the soy glazed chicken thighs, and then I made the cucumber and carrot salad. This is so good. But when it comes to the chicken thighs recipe, I end up going back in there and changing it and doubling, because when you actually see like a pound of chicken, it's not a lot. I did 2 pounds of chicken, but I still only did 1 serving of the sauce that the guy showed on his TikTok because I didn't need all of that sauce. And then I also have cherry limeade poppy. And I just realized when I wasn't putting in the vegetables, it wasn't like logging some fiber. So that's the only thing about like not logging my vegetables, which I probably should start doing it again. Just so I make sure I'm getting enough fiber in, because the veggies have the fiber in it too. I'm at 1,730 calories on the day, 123 protein, 122 carb, 14 fiber. Have a serving of this Smart Sweets, and this one is the Swedish fish, so this will actually put me a little over. So let me log a serving in here just so you can see, because I'm not gonna show me eating it. Okay, so that will put me at probably around like 1820, 1830 on the day, which is great. 123 protein, and then that puts my fiber at 18, but my fiber probably ended up being around like 20. I'm tired, so I'm just, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But yeah, that is the last meal that I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna eat this and then snack on my Swedish fish, and then we're gonna call it a night. All right, I'm gonna pop in and close out this video. So that is going to conclude today's how I figure out my calories, how I plan out my food for the week, and how I measure and weigh everything out. I hope I was able to explain this well to you, or at least give you a somewhat of a breakdown. All of this is gonna be trial and error, especially if you are new to this. You have to implement it, right? You have to actually do it and then continue to do it, and then it becomes easier. I had no idea what I was doing when I started, and I just kept going and kept practicing. The difference is there's so much more information out there, and there's so many examples, and like people are like handed to you, okay? We're giving it to you on a silver platter. Okay, I don't know what else more that I could give you. I have my workouts here, I have my food here, showing you how to count calories. All of those things are there, you just have to do it. And not every day is gonna be perfect. You're not gonna hit your numbers perfect every single time. Just stay consistent with it and try your best. I know counting calories is not for everybody. And if it's not for you, why are you watching this video? I am someone who counts calories. I always have, I need to. It's very easy for me to overconsume. And then also, it's just helped me with making sure I reach like certain goals. And counting calories doesn't even have to come with weight loss, right? I feel like if you think counting calories, you automatically assume it's about dropping weight. You might need to count calories if you're trying to put on size. This same video applies to every aspect of your journey. If you're trying to put on size, if you want to make sure you maintain, or just because you just want to track and make sure you're getting in an adequate amount of protein, an adequate amount of fiber. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I will list everything down in the description box, like the website, the app, everything that I use. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.